Just let me know when you want me to start, yeah. Okay, nearly good to go. Let me just do one or two little things here just to start with. Give me 1 second, because I need to let you know where I am, or where I'm meant to be anyway. So I'm meant to be in, that's good to go. Yeah, so hi from Tokyo. I'm Mark Dytham, and I'm going to close that one. I am an architect in Tokyo, and it's been really amazing to get on with it with the big team with you in Strathute Union under the great big fantastic umbrella of after the pandemic. I'm an architect in Tokyo, but I also run Pecha or Pecha Kucha, which is this format that we devised some years ago. Welcome to day 8 to start with. I better know my slides better than this. It feels like day 88, but we've had so many fantastic presentations. There's been so much going on, and I'm really pleased that the whole Strath Union and after the pandemic is a really open forum for everybody. Everybody can come in, and I think that's really important. So Pecha is this storytelling format which started off as 20 slides shown for 20 seconds each. We started off as a one-off event in Tokyo. We're now in over 1,200 cities, which is really amazing. And it's a really, we wondered why it's become so popular. I think it's because of this very simple framework of just 20 images, where you have a start, a middle, and an end, and you can get your head around it right at the beginning. I need to get 20 images. What's my story? I can take a few images from the internet. I can sketch a few things. I can make a Lego castle, take a picture of it, put it into the presentation. It's fast, it's fun, and it's friendly. And I think the restriction of only having 10 or 20 slides is really important. It makes it a level playing field. And as you'll see later, we've had kids who are 9 or 10 presenting on the same stage as the president of the American Institute of Architects. It's really kind of incredible. So that level playing field, you always know what you're going to get with the Pecha presentation. It's like a Big Mac. And that 400-second restriction, or 200 seconds, whatever format you decide to use, is really important. So it's like the Twitter of presentations. And the most important thing is that this started off as a community, and it still is a community. We had these live events all around the world. Before the pandemic, we had around 150 events a month around the world. But it's not just a community, it's a format, and the format informs the community informs the format, and it keeps it going. For over 17 years, we've been running Pecha Night. But the most important thing, as I say, is it's a very level playing field. And here we have the kids from Stowe School presenting a little bit earlier in the week, and they were fantastic. Really, really great presentations and so professional. And then we had, one of the partners from IDEO presenting. IDEO is one of the most important design companies in the world, and they're all over, they've offices all over the world. And we were very lucky to get Natalia to come and speak about her fungus-eating little bug she puts in the water, or algae-eating. It eats up all the bad algae. And then, as I mentioned, we had the president of the American Institute of Architects, Peter Exley, presenting too. Presenting to the kids, which is great, a great story. So please check out our website a little bit later, and you can check all these presentations. And then, as I mentioned, we have a community. The community is amazing, our community. And this is proved by, this is in Taiwan, in Tainan, and the Pecha organizers there presented, they held a workshop over the weekend, and I've got a couple of presentations for that coming up soon. So really, really amazing how we've managed to turn this into a global event. And it's really, really important to be global, I think. Yeah, here you can see them having the workshop and using the format and the plan that White Space and Daydream Believers came up with, which is really, really amazing. So you can also make presentations online. If you go to pechakucha.com, you can, as the big posters say, if they're put up in the right order, upload, voice, and share, and you can voice the images online and make presentations, which most of these you're going to see were made online and submitted to us from all around the world. So it's pretty incredible. I just should say that Pecha Kucha, or Pecha Kucha, as we say in Japanese, means the sound of chit-chat. Pecha Kucha, Pecha Kucha, Pecha Kucha. And it's an onomatopoeia, yeah. So you can say Pecha Kucha, Pecha Kucha, anything you want, really. PK is the easy way out. So we've been, as I say, totally amazed by all the presentations we've been getting from around the world and from the UK and from the Scottish borders. It is really incredible. And people of all ages have been submitted. So I'm going to show you some of those today. So let's get on with it. So the first one is a full projector. It's 20 by 20, I think. And it's highlighting the impact of climate change through advertisement to influence change. This is quite an interesting project where Beatrix has been thinking about how we can advertise the problem of climate change. And are there clever ways we can do that? So without further ado, over to Beatrix.
In order to influence adults and parents to change particular actions that can be contributing to climate change, and influence governments to increase the usage of renewable energy sources, an advertisement can be made to illustrate the horrible impacts of climate change and show the benefits of clean energy and sustainable practices. The Get On With It idea is the creation of an advertisement for a company that produces electric cars. This advertisement would show how environmentally friendly electric cars are and also highlight the importance of using renewable energy. This would also allow the company to announce their proposal of donating a percentage of proceeds of the sales from this car to the Global Warming Awareness Fund. This commercial will go through phases showing this electric car driving through two very different settings. The first setting being the horrible impacts that climate change has on the natural environment that would continue with the use of non-renewable energy, and the second being a healthy environment that has been sustained as a result of using renewable energy and with the driving of electric cars. One of the main causes of climate change is air pollution, which is produced by non-renewable energy sources and gas-fueled cars. This pollution emits greenhouse gases including carbon monoxide, methane, and carbon monoxide into the atmosphere. These greenhouse gases trap heat, which causes temperatures to rise and leads to other impacts including drought, severity of storms, and increased health risks. The first phase will highlight the tremendous effects these impacts have on individuals' lives. These will include the increased severity of storms causing destruction of property, which causes displacement, the increased level of disease due to pollution, and the decreased food supply due to the impact that rising temperatures have on crops, which ultimately decreases nutrition and health as well. The use of fear appeals by showing how these impacts have worsened the lives of many individuals will stimulate a negative response that will influence individuals to change their actions to avoid this from happening in the future. This can influence more sustainable practices for adults and parents and persuade governments to establish a climate plan to create a safer environment. Unsustainable practices now being used by companies and governments will have a significant negative impact on the lives of the future generations. Influencing governments, organizations, and adults to change now is imperative to ensure that the effects on climate we're experiencing now don't worsen to the point where the planet is uninhabitable for future generations. The next phase of this commercial will show the electric car driving through an environment that has been adopted with new renewable energy, including windmills and solar panels. The environment will be healthy, which demonstrates how the use of green energy sustains environments. This will influence and inspire governments to adopt these practices and nudge adults to consider driving electric cars. This advertisement's goal is to get governments to get on with it, like the Prime Minister of Denmark. Mette Frederiksen's climate plan states that the Danish government will be investing $1.58 billion towards new forms of green energy, with a goal to reduce Denmark's greenhouse gas emissions by 70% by the year 2030. The implementation of renewable energy sources and driving electric cars are just two ways we can inspire change for the future. In order to ensure that future generations have a safe and habitable environment to live in, we need to influence adults and governments to enact change now. While some impacts may be irreversible, we can still prevent future impacts from harming the environment further.
my name is Faris Mujahid from National Cheng Kung University of Taiwan. I'm going to talk about bike as a zero.
Aha, I muted myself. Let me go back one. Sorry about that. Somebody just walked through. So give me 1 second. Let me start that. Let me do that again. Sorry about that technical hiccup. I won't mute myself again because I would forget. So yeah, thank you, Beatrice. It was a really brilliant presentation, very grown up, and there's lots of really interesting thoughts there. And it's amazing what you can say. That was a 10 by 20, 10 slides shown for 20 seconds each. It's amazing how much information you can get into a presentation. And just those, really simple images, no text is really great. So thank you very much. Now we're moving on to Faris. He is from Tainan in Taiwan. And we hold a Pecha tonight there. And there are the people we showed you a little bit earlier that were having a workshop all last weekend. And there's lots of presentations coming out from some are uploaded, some are not. This is one I found online. Bike every day, everywhere. Really interesting presentation. I think this is a shorter one. It's 10 by 10. So 10 slides for 10 seconds to get your message across really strongly. So over to you, Faris. I'm glad I'm back online. Okay.
Hi, my name is Faris Mujahid from National Cheng Kung University of Taiwan. I'm going to talk about bike as a zero carbon emission vehicle. So as we know, air pollution is everywhere. We need to contribute. Literally, every single of us need to do something. We can start from now by ourselves to reduce carbon emissions by simple things as cycling to work or to school or to everywhere. I'm used to traveling for 5 kilometers a day from my home to school or university and having lunch and dinner. Instead of by using car or scooter, this 5 kilometer distance is very accessible by bike. Using bike is very economic, very low cost maintenance, no parking fee, and the bike itself is very affordable for everyone. Using bike to work or everywhere is very simple, yet it helps our environment to keep the air pollution away. In terms of operational costs, bike doesn't need anything, while scooter and car it might need few hundred US$ for petrol. With 5 kilometer distance a day for 1 year, scooter and car contribute 150 and 320 kilogram carbon emissions respectively. Not to mention that using bike or cycling every day, it keeps our body healthy. So let's start now.
Thanks, Faris. That was a really great little presentation. Yeah, that's 1 minute 20 seconds with 10 slides for 10 seconds. Yeah, well, sorry, 1 minute 40, which is really great. You can get so much across in that time. And these are very good messages. I think if these are shared within schools and universities, they're really great messages to tell people how to get on with it. So thank you for that really great presentation. This one is we made a 5 by 5 format just for getting across a real strong point really quickly. So this one's only 25 seconds, but it's really interesting what you can say. So Terracot or Terracot, I hope I'm saying a name correctly. I'm not gonna attempt your second name, but it's about plastics pollution. So over to you, Terracot.
Hello world, the beautiful world that we live, we play, we learn and we destroy. We use a lot of plastic today and they affect to the climate change. Manufacturing plastic creates billions of tons of greenhouse gases. We have only one world, let our young generation build awareness by educating them. Be the solution, not the pollution.
Wow, amazing, huh? It's almost like an advertisement in itself, yeah, that 5 by 5. And I think people could make those and put them online on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, and people click on it, and within 25 seconds, you've got a really strong message across like this, yeah. And I think these, if you make these up yourself, make a little statement and put them online. I think it's really important. I think it was a really great example, and the graphics were really fantastic and really strong. be the solution, not the pollution. I think really, really well done. It's really amazing for us to find these. These are submitted to us, and we find them online, and we search for the hashtag and go through these amazing presentations from all around the world. And I think we're in a global crisis, and we need global education to solve that crisis. And I think that we're all a part of that. And just getting on with it, like we've been doing for the last 8 days, has really helped focus ourselves on this. And the fact that it is, as we keep saying, a level playing field. Everybody can join in and add to this amazing archive that we're building. Hashtag get on with it. So thank you for that, Terracot. Okay, moving along swiftly. I hope you're all enjoying it this evening. We're running a little bit later than we normally do at 5 o'clock today. So let me go on to the next one. So this is really great. And there's a couple here. And this is showing the collaboration between our project with Lego. And as you can see around you, there's lots of Lego and there's lots of amazing Lego things that have been made. And here, Jamie, Lila, and Nina show you how they've been getting on with it by making sustainable houses or ideas for sustainable houses using Lego as the tool to show that. Yeah. And it's something that we really hoped would happen. And this has come out without too much pushing, not pushing from our side. They've made a Pecha presentation using Lego. So over to you, Jamie, Lila, and Nina.
Hi, my name is Jamie. Hi, my name is Isla. Hello, my name is Nina. Hello, welcome to our presentation. We're going to talk to you about sustainability in housing. Here are some of our ideas. We hope you enjoyed and finally take action against the climate crisis. Electricity. The electricity comes from the river. It goes to the pump and hopefully it gets turned into electricity, which we would like to be sent to the houses. This would help with the area's carbon footprint, for example, lighting, heating and media. Waste. The waste goes to the composter we hope to install for the community. From there it is turned into fertiliser for the area's plants. The plants are grown in a small space in the community's garden. Cars. We want to encourage the people who move in to use electric cars. So we have created chargers. They are powered by the solar panels over top. We can also have other transport such as bikes and buses. Wild areas. We hope to have vegetable patches in all the gardens and a small park for residents young, old and in between to enjoy. With swings, slides and other rehomed play park things, this will be the perfect area for nature and humans to live side by side. Climate change affects all of us. We need to act. We can turn this around, but now is our only chance. Please help us and our future by reusing, reducing and recycling. Education. In our environment, we hope to provide some way of educating the children. We have it near a shop and a school has a playground which is fun for children. This is how much time our planet has left. Just enough to turn climate change around. But we don't have long to make our planet healthy again. This is a life or death situation for the entire planet to fix. This is our entire Lego piece. We hope you like it. We worked very hard on it to create our dream eco-friendly community, just like how we would like our entire world to be. COP26 will change the climate. Thank you for listening to our presentation. We hope you enjoyed it and finally take action against the climate crisis. To save our future, this is important to us. It's our future.
Wow, how amazing was that? I mean, it was so brilliant. Really, really, thank you very much, guys. And I think using Lego as a kind of a sketching tool was really interesting. It's not necessarily just about the finished thing, whether it's Millennium Falcon or whatever it might be. They're using it as a sketching tool. And I thought that was really interesting for me. Instead of having to draw something or go to the internet to grab a picture, they just could put the Lego bricks together with a few notes. And it's great, it's a really great way to do it. Just snap it with your iPhone, put it into the presentation, and that's what's so great about Pecha is that you can do this, you see. And I think we've taken away the emphasis from video. Everybody keeps saying, well, I want to upload video. Well, we don't really want you to upload any video because we want you to look, listen, and think. The problem with video is it sucks you in and you kind of, you don't really pay attention. And just these still images, as you can see, 20 seconds or 10 seconds, quite a long time. And you can get quite a lot across with that. So fantastic. And again, this is done by the schools that have been visiting after the pandemic's site. And, these are young kids doing this. And it's really great. They can make these presentations on the fly. So we've got one more of these. So this is about how to make our world more sustainable. And this is Seferina, Isabel D, and Isabel M. And I think it might be Jamie again from the other presentation. But anyway, they've been having a great time. And I thought it's really worth showing this presentation too. So over to you, everybody.
Hello. Hello. Today we are going to talk to you about how easy it is to make our world sustainable. In class, we had to design and build a sustainable area. We had to think about electricity, transport, and resources. Let's start with the car park. The car park has solar panels over the car so that the car can charge underneath. It also means that the car doesn't get wet or hot. We also invented a rule that only electric cars are allowed. Over here is the park and football field. The park is made from leftover timber from the houses. The football field is there for everyone to have fun. Also, the lines in it are painted with chalk, so it doesn't hurt the grass. This is the River Cafe and Library. The cafe waste goes to compost and is put in the house's garden. Under the cafe is the library. The library has donated books in it. If you put a book in, you can get a book out. Next to the cafe is the ground heat pump. It makes heat for all the houses and school.
These houses are eco-friendly. On the roof there are solar panels which use sunlight to provide the house with electricity for lighting and cooking. In the school grounds we have animals and a veg garden. The kids look after the animals and one half of the veg goes to the school and one half of the veg goes to the cafe.
This is our wild bit. We have a wild bit because we think animals deserve a space where people cannot pester them. This is in the wild bit we have a waterfall that leads into a river. The river goes through the village. At the side of the waterfall we have a generator. In the generator we have to create more electricity for the cafe and library. We also have a birdhouse that is made of leftover timber from the houses. We have a birdhouse because the birds need somewhere to hibernate in the winter and lay eggs in spring. Thank you for listening to our presentation
by Serafina, Jamie, Isabella D, and Isabella M.
Hope you enjoyed.
Wow. I can't hear you guys there, but I'm sure that's getting a really big round of applause. Again, a really amazing presentation. When you give the kids tools, they make amazing things. And I know the team at Lego are going to be over the moon with this, because David is a big ornithologist. He takes loads of pictures of birds, and he's going to be really moved by this presentation. So, I mean, a really great job. And I really love the background colors on this as well. Yeah, it wasn't just, there's a fantastic Lego images, but there's also the amazing color and creativity. The kids, when they're left on their own, do brilliant things. And I really love the wild bit. Yeah, this is the wild bit. I thought that was just amazing. So, and the bird hut there, as you can see, really fantastic. But you don't have to take it literally. These are just sketches that they're doing with the Lego, which is brilliant. So, thank you so much for those. So moving along, we're really getting on with it. Anyway, I think there's a couple more presentations to go. Yeah. So this is from Megan, and she's talking about Sustainable Development Goals number 2, Zero Hunger. And we'd love to get more presentations about all of the 17, or is it 18? I'm not quite sure. I should really know, shouldn't I? Sustainable Development Goals. But this is just focusing on one, and I thought it was really great. And we had the Peace Boat founder and team in, and they're very strong on all of the Sustainable Development Goals. So here's just one, and please, if you're listening, please think about making some more about all of the Sustainable Development Goals. We'd love to have a set of them, yeah? So over to you, Megan.
Hello, my name is Megan, and I will be discussing the Sustainable Development Goal 2, Zero Hunger. This goal focuses on undernourishment and hunger, and we are currently not on track to achieving zero hunger by 2030. In fact, according to the United Nations, by 2030, the number of people affected by hunger will surpass 840 million. This suffering is due to man-made conflicts, and climate change is worsening the situation. Recently, the COVID-19 pandemic has accelerated the problem due to the reduction of income and disrupting supply chains. There are many factors that are contributing to food insecurity. A lack of access to farmland and land grabbing are both factors that lead to the inability of productive farming. Without land ownership of farmable land, agricultural productivity is difficult, and many people cannot afford to obtain this ownership. Similarly, land grabbing, which is when community or farmland is taken away by large investors, diminishes communities' ability to grow food and leads to social instability and poverty. Another factor that's contributing to food insecurity is violence and war. This negatively impacts the production of food and supplies, and the shortages that result from this can result in years of food crisis. Also, while biofuels such as corn and sugar cane are a sustainable alternative for fuel, farms are being converted for growing these crops rather than for food, which drives up the prices for grain, as well as increasing deforestation, which in turn causes flooding and destroys crops. Other causes include unfair trade rules, rising population, and natural disasters. The effects that result from food insecurity impact a lot of different factors, one of which is the impacts on children in food insecure areas. This can lead to children requiring frequent hospital visits, developing asthma and anemia, oral health problems, and an overall poor quality of life, as it is more difficult to participate in activities and events when undernourished. As well, other effects that may result include increased food prices, unemployment, and rising health-related costs. There are several solutions to these causes and effects of food insecurity, two of which include reducing food waste and reducing the risk of commercializing by growing more food for the purpose of feeding first, then growing crops for the other reasons once there is sufficient food. As well, we need to improve the existing infrastructure, such as storage facilities, roads, and equipment for food processing, that all may cause farmers to fail at getting their food to market. Next, trade policies should be reevaluated so that they are fair for all farmers, and diversification of crops needs to be promoted, as negative outcomes may occur when only a single food crop is focused on. As well, strategies need to be implemented to improve crop yields to close the yield gap. Overall, the most important solution to attain zero hunger is by combating climate change, as the impacts of climate change affect every aspect of food insecurity.
Wow, another really great and grown-up presentation there, beautifully presented. And again, that was a 10 by 20, yes, so 3 minutes, 20 seconds. And I thought, you know, again, if we could have 18 of these with all the sustainable development goals, it'd be really great to share at school, or get the kids in school classrooms to make pechachas about, you know, one each. You divide them up, and we make a collection of them, you know. And so some can be 10 by 10 or 5 by 5, even just the plastic one. So, okay, we're going to move on to our last presentation. I'm sorry, Rachel's telling me through WhatsApp we're having a few Wi-Fi issues. I don't know if it's on our side or I think we're pretty clean on our side, but I know there's a lot going on with after the pandemic. They're doing such a fantastic job. There's so much going on each day. It's really, really amazing. Okay, so we're moving on. I think it's our last presentation, and it's from Kaylin. And it's protecting diversity and ecosystems before it's too late. And I think these are all key issues that you know that students need to discuss, whether it's a primary school or middle school, high school or university. That these discussions are important, and I think people should watch these and share them, and just get on with it. So I'm going to get on with it, and off you go, Caitlin.
We all know the issues surrounding the climate crisis, but what if I were to tell you there's an even bigger crisis, the biodiversity crisis? The purpose of this presentation is to get people of all ages to call on countries and leaders to protect entire ecosystems by diving into the importance of biodiversity, as well as the implications that will occur if action is not taken immediately. So what is biodiversity? Well, it is the variety of life on Earth and the interrelationships within that create and maintain healthy ecosystems all around the world. They're made up of all living organisms, from big to small, which work together to create the balanced life we live. Overall, it is the most complex and vital aspect on the planet, and without it, life on Earth would simply not exist. Biodiversity is important to not only the planet, but to humanity as well. Coral reefs provide coastal communities protection from tsunamis, and forests absorb CO2 and help to reduce greenhouse gases. In addition, a lot of our medicine comes from fungi or plants that need biodiversity to live. Even things we don't typically think of, like air and water, rely on biodiversity. Like previously mentioned, the biodiversity crisis is even bigger than the climate crisis, and this is because of the large role it plays. Climate change is reversible, even if it takes centuries or millennia, but because biodiversity is so intertwined, even the loss of one species can change it forever. If action is not taken, we will begin to see a rapid decline in the health of the planet and even an ecological collapse. So how bad is it? Well, of the 1.7 million discovered species and the 8 million suspected species on the planet, the extinction rate is thought to be 1,000 times higher than before humans existed. This is even faster than the meteorite that wiped the dinosaurs out of existence, and this goes to show that the 6th mass extinction has already begun. It's estimated that 25% of mammals, 40% of amphibians, and 13% of birds are threatened, and it's just as bad underwater. Even insects that are the base of the food chain and parasites have begun to plummet, which could destabilize ecosystems, and all of this is caused in an increase of human population and destruction of wild areas. Major causes include deforestation, poaching, and pollution. 300 mammalian species are being eaten to extinction. In 2016 alone, more than 30 million hectares of forest were lost in Britain and Ireland, and population and introduction of invasive species have hit freshwater ecosystems the hardest. Since 1970, there's been a population collapse of 81%, and all because no one's taken action. So we know why biodiversity is so important, and the effects that the biodiversity crisis is taking on life on Earth, but how do we know when to start? And that's the important question. As of right now, there is no known amount that the Earth is able to take before an ecological collapse, but we're already starting to see the effects, and that's why it's important to start now. So what can we as humanity do to help reverse the biodiversity crisis? The most important thing we can do is give nature space and the protection that it needs, and this is done through wildlife reserves. We can also value an animal's life more when they're alive than when they're dead, in addition to making sustainable choices and reducing the need for land clearing. If we're able to locate when is too far and when is there no point of return, get political will involved, and have countries commit to protecting more of their land, we're able to create a healthy biodiversity where we can all live and thrive, and there will be many, many, many centuries to come for our future generations.
Wow, what a great presentation to end on. Thank you so much for that. Again, really clear And I think that if more people could see these, and more students, and just grown-ups too, you know, I think it can make a massive difference. So I really want to say a big thank you to all of you. Thanks to all of you watching live in Strath Union. Thank you to everybody watching online on the stream, and thank you to all our amazing presenters. You know, and I think, you know, what's amazing is we've proven that, you know, just like we said, that it's a level playing field. Anybody can present. I think that's important with the Pecha format. It just levels everything out, and it doesn't matter who you are, what age you are. You can make a great presentation and an impactful presentation. And the other thing is that this is global. And we've started this really just with the Scottish schools, and then we put it out, this call out through the Pecha network, and everybody else has been promoting it. And to get people running workshops in Taiwan and presentations from all around the world, it's really amazing. And I think this is the way forward for education and for solving the climate crisis. So thank you for getting on with it with us. And I'll give you back to Helena and Ruth, hopefully, or who may be picking up from me. So bye from Tokyo via Gloucestershire, and let's all get on with it and save the planet. Good night.